Dune 2?
Yes.
What is that shit even about, bro?
You're talking about the white savior?
You know?
You're talking about the white savior
That's
movie?
just one level of conversation. That's not even the you know what I mean? There's so much you could
This
talk
man
about.
put on his Umar hat after we went and watched Dune 2 together, and now
I
he wants to
was
say it
just
was the
like,
biggest.
God.
Now he wants to say it was the biggest cultural moment.
You would
in a
love to
movie.
be saved by Timothy Chalamet, bro.
I think you defend the white man more than I do on this podcast, 100%.
You the black messiah wifing up a mixed queen. Hey, vanilla cream to help out with your self-esteem.
Hey, you was a nigga acting traumatized from the beef.
Oh yeah, that shit. It was sad in the moment. I'm over it though.
Them niggas are
Because
funny.
it doesn't seem like either one's getting canceled, which is crazy. But that's a story for another day, I guess.
Cancel culture is over, right?
You guys both just get on your little throne, on your little pedestal. Every now
I'm
and
never
then.
on a high horse ever.
You guys get on your
I
little
think
high
I'm
horse.
very consistent. I'm very consistent. I feel the need to point out certain things when it's glaringly obvious.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would have to defend my distaste of Morgan Wallen. You know what I mean? That wasn't me standing on a pedestal. That was just.
That's what I'm saying. But like Osei will get on here and like defend Morgan Wallen and do all that, but then you'll have a problem with the way who's your biggest loser of the rap beef? Black women?
Hard stop.
no cap, no cap.
Hard stop. White man.
Hard stop, white man.
I never came on here and defended Morgan Wallen. I said that I like Morgan Wallen's music, and I'm also
So he's defending Morgan Wallen right now.
And I'm also saying that people that are pretending that they're canceling him, they're not canceling him, bro. He's selling out stadiums. So what
I don't think
really
the people
talking
who are
about?
canceling him are buying his tickets to begin with.
No, that's fair enough. He doesn't need to appease the people that are mad.
You know?
So you're just like, if you admit that what you're doing is fucked up, it's kind of like better as long as you're like self-aware.
No, I don't think anything Morgan Wallen did was right. I'm
talking about you streaming the music and being fine with that.
Oh yeah, I've separated art versus artist a long time ago.
There you go.
Personally, because
Yeah.
I mean,
Because Drake.
for my personal consumption, I'm not gonna let whatever's going on stop me from like enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying?
Don't.
Especially if it's like music that I've played. Oh, I played X artists for 10 years. Now I gotta cancel them. Like, bro, realistically, I already gave my money to them. I'm not doing that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't even have to justify it for real. Because obviously the streaming justification and paying for music and all that, there's an argument there. I really am just not going to do it. And that's a personal thing.
Stream,
and
I
I'm
need
gonna
some
stand
help. Post Malone, Morgan Wallen.
No, that song is bad objectively. So
I disagree.
it's.
Did we listen to that? Were you here when we listened to that?
No.
We listened.
That's
to
not a bad.
Wait, so you guys
Bro,
listen to it?
Yeah.
on stream.
See, this guy's cap, bro.
Who?
Miles, bro.
Yeah.
On stream.
Oh my god.
On stream. We
That's
were
what I'm
listening to
saying.
New
Yo,
Music Friday.
I don't want to hear anything from you ever
But
again,
you're
bro.
also cap, bro. If you
What?
think a bar song by
What?
Shabuzi is this fucking revolutionary track, but Post Malone and Morgan
Bro.
Wallen is an objectively bad song.
That's fair. Now that's fair.
When did I ever say it was a revolutionary track? I said it was a
Get the
good
text.
track.
Get the clips out. Get the clips out.
Revolutionary. You were mad
Bro,
at
you
us
guys are
talking
just
about-
making up things.
Which one's better, Figure It Out or Bar Song by Shabuzi?
Ooh.
Bar song.
Ooh.
It's a better song. You got like I think, and to be
We're talking about
honest,
Figure It Out by Ian.
I think like culturally, and it's okay. You guys aren't from like where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? I think culturally, you guys are missing out on like where this music is being played. I get it. Whatever it's just a flip of whatever song. But I know for a fact that is going up in every single dive bar in America right now, and that is the majority of this country.
Dog, I bet they play more country music where I'm from than they do where you're
That's
from.
what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if
That
it's
is
getting played
cap.
in these
I bet they
environments.
do. I bet they do.
And you haven't heard it there yet?
Huh? Well, I haven't been back.
See, you're out of
Anyways.
touch.
Figured Out by Ian is better. What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Stereo Vision Podcast.
Episode 102.
Look at us, back on our consistency. Sorry we left y'all for a minute.
Yep.
But y'all shout out to everyone who tapped into the Not Like Us episode 101. That's our most streamed podcast so far, if y'all didn't know.
I know. I was surprised because we
Very
got that
good.
one up a little late, but nobody cared. They wanted to hear what we had to say.
We're doing our best, man. Appreciate everyone who came through to the channel off those Kendrick Lamar and Drake beats.
Yeah.
They paid some content creators bills
For sure.
for the last couple of weeks. We appreciate y'all definitely a lot. But I I think that's kind of settled down, and we've been able to settle back into regular life again.
Yeah.
There's not diss tracks dropping every other day. How y'all been?
Good. That was a chaotic time of life, to be honest, and I don't think that could have happened with like how chaotic May and June is going to be. I mean, if that was happening right now, I'd be so stressed out.
Yeah.
Because it was literal bombs being dropped like every other day. It was warfare,
Yeah, and I don't think we purposely took a break, but I think schedules got busy and we were like, all right, we finally have a chance to like not film every single day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that felt like that shit felt like a fever dream.
Yeah.
It was just happening so fast. It was like we had to really think and like apply brain power to our analysis of all of this. Like, what does this mean in the context of their legacy and a lot of just heady conversations. I'm glad that shit is a little bit not more unserious, but just calm now.
Yeah, but it's like we're running a marathon, but that was like, yo, we're on like mile 11, and they're like, yo, sprint to 13. You know what I'm saying? And like mile 14 might be a walk after that,
Nah.
But we're back to it. We're jogging again.
Facts. Life has been good. It's been good to kind of. I don't know. I feel rejuvenated with music. I was talking to you about this. Like, I feel like a lot of the shit that I was doing, listening, and even saying was like getting very. Not formulaic, but I feel like I was like looking at it too much, trying to like analyze it and not just thinking, what do I enjoy?
Yeah.
Like what brings happiness to my spirit? Like I've been really, really just tapped back in. I feel like.
Do you think there was one song or moment that kind of reminded you that sticks out?
100%. When we listened to because I hadn't heard the Anderson .Paak Knowledge song. And when we listened to that for the first time, it was like right after like I had been doing like the studio crazy for a week. Like that was like, oh, this is like greatness. Like I don't know.
That was my moment too, because I agree with you, and that was also the moment where I was like, oh, this is what I love,
bruh. And like shout out October London. Like the fact that's not a sample and that's just his voice coming through so crazy on that song.
Yeah,
that shit definitely got me back into it.
No worries. Album of the year incoming.
I'm not mad at that.
Bro, it's gonna be.
I'm not mad at that. Best album cover I've seen in a while too. Just two goats in the distance,
and it matches the other one so well. Just with the texture. I'm looking at the other one behind you right now. Just like the texture of it. I pre-ordered the Rhymes Like Dimes edition of that vinyl, and I'm starting to regret it.
That shit is gonna be iconic. But okay, let's get into some more new music.
Yeah.
Do you like Wanna? The new Gunna album, One of One. How we feeling?
It's already one of the best projects that's dropped this year.
Damn.
Already.
Okay.
Tell us why.
I mean, for me personally, I think it's some of Gunna's best music, right? It's super melodic and fits in the pocket that he usually goes in, don't get me wrong. But I like what he's talking about on it. He's talking about health. He's talking about wellness. He's talking about getting money. And he's just talking about fly shit. And honestly, I can listen to it anywhere. I listen to it in the gym. I listen to it driving around. I listen to it in my apartment. It's just really good, like easy listening music, feel good music. Like I've really just enjoyed pretty much every song on the project. I like that he has like Normani on it too.
Yeah.
Interesting take.
Leon Bridges
song.
Starting to get features again. Obviously Offset's on the project, and then a Roddy Ricch.
Good Roddy Ricch verse.
Which I was really happy about because I remember there was an interview I watched before, before Gunna got out of jail, where Roddy Ricch was literally talking about Gunna. Like, yo, I try and talk to him as much as I possibly can. Like, that's my real brother. Like, I really love Gunna. Like, so I was glad to see that the relationship is continuing and that they're still making music together. And like you said, fire Roddy Ricch first. So
yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think it's really, I love what he's talking about. I really like the production. It's really good. Nothing has stuck for me yet. And the album as a whole hasn't stuck yet. But normally when I go through this experience where it's like, yes, I like this. Why am I not listening to it? It just means when I'm in this mood, maybe in a month or two, maybe in 3 months, then I'm going to catch it. I just don't know if for some reason it's not super sticky right now. But I think everything you said is a fact. So I do think I'm going to continue to find tracks on it the more I listen to it.
Do you like it more than Blessing and a Curse?
I had the same thing with Blessing and a Curse where it grew on me, but I don't know right now.
It's a little early right now. I think I'm enjoying like just listening to it all the way through more than Blessing and a Curse. I mean, I think Blessing and a Curse it could be a better project. I mean, I think just like the context of it and what he's talking about and just addressing everything that everyone's ever said about him on it too, like might make it better. I just like this project as like a easy listening, gym, home, Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like a good project, bro.
Yeah, I feel similar to both of you. I like the album. You know, I mean, I think we're all Gunna fans, so I don't think he would do anything to disappoint the people who already really like him. I don't think there's a song yet either.
Yeah.
But there are moments, which is encouraging. You know what I mean? Like different podcasts I could identify at this point on different songs that I really like. With Gunna, I love Gunna intros. Like, and I think that is a really, really fire song. I like the features. I like the features. I don't love like the final product every time. Like the Leon Bridges song was cool. Like just like conceptually, you know, and to hear him do that. I don't know if I love the song and I'm going to go back to it, but like he's experimenting and trying new stuff. So he's entering new territory. So I don't expect everything to be perfect, but I like that he's at least trying that stuff. Yeah, I think this was a good project to keep the momentum going.
I don't know. I think this project, we butchered that name, by the way. It's A Gift and a Curse.
A Gift and a Curse. Yes.
But I think this project got some standout records to me already. I mean, Neck on a Yacht, Dollar Sign.
With Normani.
WhatsApp.
I don't like WhatsApp.
I really like WhatsApp.
I really like that song.
I really like that song.
Like
yeah. No.
I think that's the closest thing to like a standout just from the first couple weeks.
Hakuna Matata's good.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
Today I Did Good.
Today I Did Good.
What a great feel good song that is just a completely different subject matter and a different perspective than anyone else is taking.
And now tell me the health and wellness didn't shine through on the album, Miles, because you were telling me it wouldn't make any difference that he was in good shape on this project.
Bro, this guy's giving you gym bars, bro.
From a subject matter standpoint, it's just more things to talk about, and I don't think he did it in a corny way.
No.
Which is cool, because it could have been corny and it was very fly. Like it was fly how he was doing it, and I think that's a good message to be.
He could move into like really like cool Larry June for the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like
I was literally thinking Larry June.
He could talk about the same shit.
Literally gonna say like that's like Larry June does that shit well too. I agree.
But just for a different audience.
Facts. Nah. Shout out Gunna. That shit was good.
What's your guys' favorite Gunna album?
Dripper John 3.
I was gonna say Wanna, but I think I might have to go with.
Oh no, Dripper John 2. Dripper
John 2 is under him in the pool, right?
Yeah. Dripper John 2 is my favorite kind of album.
Why am I blanking out on the green cover with this where he looked like a snake?
Slime Season.
No,
that's Drip Season 3.
Yeah, Drip Season 3. Drip Season 3 is low key.
Those are the two.
Okay.
Those are the two right answers. It's either Drip Season 3 or Dripper John 2.
I'll go Dripper John 2, then Wanna, then Drip Season 3. I think Wanna is really good. I still listen to Wanna.
I feel like Dripper John 2, even though it's got that funny album cover, is overrated, bro.
No, bro. There's so many slaps on that.
Bro. Yao Ming.
Who You Fooling?
Who You Fooling, of course.
What's Pedestrian on?
Sam Young Nigga. That's on Dripper John 3. Or Drip Season 3. Drip Season 3 is, I'm not going to lie, like going to like look at Drip Season 3, it's hard to beat it. Like it's very, very hard to beat it.
He had more edge on Drip Season 3, but he was wavier on Dripper John 2.
I think Dripper John 2 is everything that but like that's facts. Everything that I like about Gunna personally, like him kind of elevating into that superstar status and just talking more fly shit than he's trying to talk like. You still really saw the thug influence on, I think, Drip Season 3. And I think that he really became his own artist on Dripper Drown 2.
Oh, Baby Birkin?
Yeah. You know, on a mountain. This nigga had a song in 2K. Shout out Wanna. How'd you guys feel about the Chief Keef project?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I still haven't listened, and I don't know why. I'm like not compelled to listen. And it's funny because I feel like at a point Chief Keef was like one of my favorite artists, but I feel like he just, to me, the sound changed and it wasn't consistent enough, and I don't know. I
think we missed. I can only speak for myself, but I feel like kids like 2 to like 4 or 5 years older than us really got to experience and enjoy Chief Keef at like the height of his powers.
Yeah,
and I think we still caught like the back end of it where like all the hits like Love Sosa, that type of stuff I think we're familiar with. I think we heard in like at parties in high school especially, you know what I mean? That type of situation. But I feel like I never really was engaged in music and like outside in conversations when Chief Keef was really, really like it.
No, bro, because by the time we started going to parties in high school, what are we, like sophomores,
Yeah,
juniors?
yeah, like I'm like 16,
like
2016.
hate being sober, and like all the hits,
Sosa, yeah.
Love Sosa, everything on Finally Rich is 5 years old at that point.
Yeah.
We did catch the back end.
Yeah.
And honestly, like projects after that haven't grabbed me from Keef, and I'm not like the biggest Chief Keef fan. So I didn't listen to this one either, so I can't really speak.
I don't know. I mean, just scrolling through Spotify right now, like it's funny because I have, we're gonna go into this conversation later, but I really only have one Chief Keef project that I love, top to bottom, and everything else has like a couple different good singles and standouts, but I don't think he's really made a solid project. I mean, since Finally Rich.
I thought Phone was good. This one, I listened to this after people.
Yeah,
were
no, I mean,
posting
Bitchware is definitely.
I think this one's pretty fun. It's just interesting, and like I guess we can kind of like transition that into the Ian conversation, but like this feels like music that is made more so for today than when it was hot. Like I feel like these type of like very. You can understand what he's saying, but he's talking about like get money shit, you know what I mean? But the beats are very interesting. Like they're not samey. They don't feel old or dated to me, at least. What do you guys think? Like, do you think you guys didn't listen, but like over time, does his sound just outdated?
I think a little bit,
Okay.
honestly, because you were playing it inside, and I was listening to it, and the beats do sound very like 2012 to 2015 to me. That is what I associate that sound with. They're like big, like very produced, but not like expensive, but
Right?
like really like
Yeah.
in your face,
Yes.
kind of almost like epic beats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, and the drums, like the hi-hats are very like pronounced, right? And then the beat, like the beats themselves, I mean, forgive me if I'm like not talking about this super correctly, but like the like beat patterns and like the melodies are like chopped up, like it's very like staccato. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I think it's fine music. Like, you know what I mean? I think if there's a situation where I'm like, if I'm in the gym and I'm shuffling my whole music library and that shit comes on, like I might catch a vibe to one of the songs or whatever. But yeah, I'm not really like seeking out Chief Keef music, but I mean, he's a legend. He did his little Apple Music interview. Apparently, he's been off the heavy drugs for a minute now. So shout out him for being alive, being healthy. You know what I mean? Is still out here. So that's good for him.
He was just such an icon. Like some of the things I remember most about Chief Keef, like even more than some of his music, is like him on his dirt bike.
Yeah,
like just cruising around Chicago, like around his house. I don't know. Like
he has some funny early Instagram moments too.
just full icon status.
Yeah, he's a legend. But going into the new Ian project that dropped, go watch that reaction because only a couple people did. I like it, and I think it's very heavily influenced by this Gucci Mane, Chief Keef, early 2000. I don't want to say early 2000, mid 2000 sound.
Yeah.
But how are we feeling about it 2 days after it dropped and he was in our city, kind of going crazy?
I mean, it's definitely
Hanging
good.
out the black truck.
It's definitely good. I don't feel the same way about Ian as I do 4Bats. I feel like the 4Bats project was butchered to some extent, but I think with Ian, I think it's important that
How do you just
we
slip
take.
4 bad tape?
I know.
I think with
Did
Ian,
you write
it's
that Rolling
important-
Stone article?
Oh, we should talk about that too, but let me get through this first. But I think with Ian, we need to continue to take it slow, right? The music is good. I think he has some really witty and clever bars in there that when I listened to a second time, I caught, which is great because it shows me that he's like smart and like can write.
Yeah, he's
you know
rapping.
what I'm saying?
He's rapping.
He's really rapping, and yeah, I don't know. I just get very like I don't know what the word is, but like just like I want to push
Apprehensive.
back. Yeah, whoa, that's amazing. I get very apprehensive when people hype things up a little bit too much like this because it's still very, very, very early to me.
That's fair. I like it a lot. I think it definitely is situational music. Like I'm not finna be just like cleaning my room, like listening to Ian or like doing some like chill shit. But I think in the right situations where I could like be walking around doing something, nodding my head, whatever, like I'm gonna play it. I'm definitely gonna play it. And I like the writing. I think he's rapping for real and I can actually hear it, which is a big thing with this sound that's threw me off, as I've said a million times. But yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah, I thought it was good too. I don't think I'm ever gonna put it on.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ever gonna put it on. And something I think I've realized about myself is that like flow is without a doubt the most important thing to me in rap music.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To be music I love, it needs to have like a really interesting, unique, dope flow, and also I need to be able to like get something from the lyrics, whatever that is. I need to be able to derive something from it. I think if you have an incredible flow and you're not talking about shit, I might still like the song. But I think even if you're talking about stuff, if the flow doesn't grab me, I'm not gonna play the music.
You don't like how he's flowing on these beats.
I think there's like 2 or 3 moments where I'm like, yo, that was a dope flow. But like just like the Ian flow to me is not something I like am going to seek out.
The Ian flow. That's fair.
But like when we listened to it, it was cool. I enjoyed it. The bars were good. You know, I just don't think I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I mean, I think I've said that about everyone in this genre, and he's the first one that I thought I would play. I think that's why I'm excited about it. But I wouldn't look at someone crazy if they said that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's still fair. It's still very early. I think there's a lot of development to do, but I think this was a good starting point.
I do too.
This was a good jumping off point. I think he capitalized on momentum, dropped the project similar to how Four Bads did, and this one it seems like it's gonna stick a little more.
That's good because am I gonna play this album? No, but am I looking for the next one? Yeah,
I'll play the next one for sure.
As soon as it comes out, I'll run the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah.
On new music, I guess we can kind of talk about this nigga City, bro. You see Tommy Richmond got the Don Toliver feature on $1 Million Baby.
I did see that. Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
I didn't really like what I heard. Like, I think it was on Instagram is where I heard the snippet. I do really wish that it was a Brent remix because I feel like he's right there. But I mean, they got to do what they got to do. I think that right now the push is probably to get it to number 1, you know, as soon as possible. And if Don Toliver can do that, like, I'm with it. But I don't think he's needed.
Have that power?
I don't know. I
don't think so.
It's confusing. What it feels like to me is it feels like Don Toliver came to them almost and was like, yo, I love this. Like,
and I think he probably likes Don Toliver.
Exactly. But it didn't, to me, it doesn't make that much sense. And I still like the original better than what I heard. So
It was a fumble, to be honest. The song hasn't come out yet, so maybe not.
Yeah, we can't.
But if I'm being honest, the snippet sounds like ass.
I kind of liked it. Honestly.
Oh, my bad.
I've only heard it once. I
thought it sounded booty, bro. And I don't think Don makes any sense on it. Like, I think Tommy shouldn't try to be hip hop, bro. He's making alt pop music. You know what I mean? And that should be, or all R&B, whatever you want to call it. To me, getting Don on this song feels like when Tyler got Travis on Water.
I think it's completely different.
It just seems like it seems like a mismanaged situation where you could do something that makes perfect sense and really uplifts the song, but instead you just cop out for like a big trap rap artist.
Travis on Water is insane. That just should never be a song that exists. Like, that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But this, I could see how it could work. Now, I'm not saying I heard this and I've listened to this one time, like when I was like, you know what I mean? Like, not all the way like immersed, but like it wasn't abrasive to me. But I think that Dawn is interesting enough, talented enough to find a way to go over this and like make it sound good. I don't like, it doesn't feel like it was a play just to get a bigger artist on it.
So let's expand on this because there's like 3 remixes that we could talk about right now where I just feel like these all are starting to feel like industry pushes. Let's get a big artist on the record and let's just go, instead of like more artistic pushes. We talked about Tyler and Travis. We're talking about Tommy Richmond and Don Toliver. And I feel like even with the Fisher remix with Ice Spice, like, yeah, it like makes sense on paper and like it's something that is a play that I could see being made that would make sense, but it didn't sound great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Gunna would have really been the best sound on that. Obviously, they're not going to collab with Gunna, but like, you know what I'm saying? Even like a Drake remix to that would have made more sense sonically than Ice Spice. And I really feel like it didn't do enough to carry the song to where it needed to be. You know what I'm saying? I feel like now we're just throwing things out there like, oh, like Ice Spice is hot. Let's put her on the song. Don Toliver is big. Let's put her on the song. Like, I don't know. We're not making calculated. We're making like calculated moves, but we're not making like artistic, calculated move. If that makes sense.
I think all three of them that you mentioned did fall a little flat, but I think the difference is Ice Spice does make perfect sense on that song on paper.
On paper, though.
Whereas the other ones don't even make sense on paper, to me.
I mean, I think that we're reaching back really far. This has been a problem with remixes for a while, so I don't mind talking about Tyler Water. That one I was surprised with, just because like Wizkid is so obvious. You know what I mean? Like, do that. But then, like, I guess one that I don't get and that I didn't like and that was confusing to me is like Calm Down when they've got Selena Gomez on there.
Yeah, terrible.
I don't like that song. Or like Essence with Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like these things, but they worked for what their purpose was.
It's so interesting how both of them really work, especially the Calm Down.
You know what I mean? So I'm not going to fault these people for doing it, but I don't think the $1 Million Baby play was as big an artist as those, and I think the Ice Spice one makes perfect sense given who the team is made up of, where they're both from. Like, I think they know each other and have like come up together a little bit.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm only critical of it because I understand that it makes sense, and when I heard it, I was like, okay, like, yes, I get it, but I just felt like sonically going into it, I wasn't gonna like it, and I think I still don't like it. After listening to it a few times, I don't think she was the right choice.
I don't like it either.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, do you think they think it's fire?
The artist?
Yeah.
The original artist?
Yeah. I think Cash thinks that Ice Spice verse is good.
I think on paper he's like, yo, she can play the baddie that is like we're talking about in the song. Like, it makes perfect sense. She's from the city. She's hot right now, or at least is big, like a big artist, bigger than me. Like, I don't know, bro. Paper makes sense. Execution, wise, not really.
You bring up a great point, because from us as fans, it's like make the perfect play. Like, that's what we want you to do. But if you put yourself in these artists' shoes, you can put yourself in Tyler's shoes. You can put yourself in Tommy Richmond's shoes. 6 months ago, nobody knew who the fuck they were. Now, Travis Scott wants to be on my song.
Like, fuck yeah.
Don
like,
Toliver wants to be on my song. Let's do it. Then they hear it and they're like, yo,
this is fire.
This is incredible. Like, like I'm independent Tommy Richmond. Nobody knew who the fuck I was. Now I have a song with Don Toliver. Of course, I'm excited about it. I'm going to put it out. Yeah. And it's probably going to help me go #1, like you said. So you can't be mad at it. I just do wish, like you said, bro, like I know him and Brent will collab a lot in the future and already have that song together. But it seems like it would have been a great way to make a really good record and also like really stamp that collaboration.
But y'all would have really wanted Brent. I don't think Brent would have done anything crazy on that.
He would have sounded great.
I think he would have sounded great, and I think it would have made the most sense, and they could just keep it internal. You know what I'm saying? And be like, it's really the, like, what is it, ISO?
But I don't
really
think the goal
ISO
is to keep it internal.
What do you mean?
But I think
the goal is to spread your audience as much as possible.
I feel like the way that they've been moving, though, they're very, like, it's a collective, bro. Like, they work with the same producers,
made up of
they
mostly
wear the same
producers,
clothes.
but that's the thing.
They like only collaborate with certain artists. Like, even like Junie and like Tony Snow are not technically part of the collective, but you'll see they'll collaborate with each other and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain artists. Don Toliver has never been in the picture.
I don't think that the goal with Tommy Richmond, who's the only official artist signed to ISO, is to keep him. I think producer-wise, 100%, keep him with the same type of producers, for sure, for sure. I think that that's the smartest thing that he's done. Make sure that, like, I'm going to emphasize getting producers around me, so I'm going to always keep my sound fresh with that. But I think, like, as an artist, you want him collaborating with people who are going to expand his reach. People are just hearing about him now. Let's cast a wide net. Let's make sure people know that he's cool and associated with the up-and-coming people in other genres. Like, I don't love Don Toliver. I just can't think of a better person to do. I can't. Yeah, I don't really know who I'd even want on that. Brent wouldn't be bad. It could be good.
Brent would sound really good.
Brent wouldn't sound bad.
It would be great.
Brent's the only person I can think of that I'm like, yo, he would sound fire on that. I can't think of anyone else because it's a really unique, weird song. Yeah,
I don't know. We'll give Don Toliver a chance. Hopefully it sounds decent. Last thing for new music, Billie Eilish dropped.
Don't call her that.
Yeah, come on, bro. We gotta be respectful.
Was that disrespectful?
You called her eyelash.
My bad. So Billie Eilish dropped. Fuck. Hit me hard and soft. What do we think of it?
Yo,
no, that title is insane. But I'm not gonna lie. I've listened to the Billie projects. I haven't loved them, and this one I kind of liked. I do feel like there's only a few songs I will, put on my playlist and like repeat. But overall, I think this is the best Billie Eilish project that I've heard.
I would agree.
Me too. It's a good project,
and I think she's
good songs. Yeah, more mature.
It's I think she's interesting because she's definitely one of the people that I forget how young she is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it seems like she's been around forever.
Yeah.
She's been making music since she was like 15, 16?
Yeah, Ocean Eyes was like
that's crazy.
Like 14 or 15, but I swear.
So I think it's dope that she's kind of like her relationship with Phineas, her brother, is very creatively like Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff, you know, like they're going to be involved with each other and working always. So the sound is kind of, it does feel like natural progressions every single time I hear her. Now, I'm not intentionally listening to every Billie Eilish drop, but when she does come out and something does both ways.
Stupid. She didn't have to come out. You said this earlier.
No,
it was obvious.
Shouts out, bro. We love all people. You know, the articles have been... You're going to get canceled.
Did you just say all lives matter?
What?
Yeah, you're going to get canceled.
When did I say all lives matter?
You said we love all people.
Yeah, that's not all. That and all lives matter are two completely different things.
Yeah, whoa.
That is not. You see how you want to get me caught up?
We just went off the rails.
I'm so caught up. Lunch by Billie Eilish is fire, though.
Good,
I would say Lunch. What was it? Oh, Birds of a Feather was my other one. And then L'amour de ma vie. That's definitely some French.
Yeah, right? I don't
L'amour de ma vie.
But she is very talented. This was a good project. We could talk about fucking Diddy.
Haven't we give him enough time?
I'm good, bro.
Okay. He's done.
It's like the video didn't... We believed her, right? We all believed her. Like, the video doesn't do anything
but it's
new.
crazy seeing the video.
I know,
it's
but
crazy seeing the video.
But I mean...
I think that's going to propel things to happen. I think, like, the noise had kind of died down around the situation, and I think that this is keeping it very top of mind that something needs to be done about it. But it was nasty to see that. Bad person.
Bad mod.
Yeah, it was sad. I honestly didn't even like want to watch the video, but I just kept scrolling and all these blogs were reposting.
I couldn't watch the full thing.
I was like, there has to be a better way to share information. You know what I'm saying? Because she has to like relive that too. Like, I don't know.
Well, no.
I didn't relate.
That is the only way to do it because of what Miles said. Because she told us exactly what happened, and for some reason it died down and nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, we have to further traumatize her and make everyone see this shit because we didn't take what she said as like full truth. I think we did.
And we've been desensitized. You have to make people feel uncomfortable because this is an uncomfortable thing. Like, this is a very bad, evil, problematic thing. Like, you feel uncomfortable because it's literally like gross. You know what I mean? Like, this is bad. And like, I think with words, it's very hard to get that effect sometimes because you just read words and we read so much tragic shit every single day. You know, sometimes that's be put in front of your face like, yo, this is happening. This is a problem. Something needs to be done about this.
And it sucks because it's definitely like triggering for like victims.
It's very
everywhere. It's super triggering. Yeah. And the fact that they have to like relive this and go through this, it's terrible. And I feel for all of them, but I also think this is like moving us forward as a society because throughout like American history, men have been getting away with this. You know what I'm saying? And with little to no repercussions. They might go to jail, you know, but not for long. You know, they're coming out there and their legacy is still intact. Yeah. So I think despite the downside of everyone having to see this video, it's probably going to do what it needs to do.
Yeah. But he's a nasty, nasty man.
Yeah.
We won't talk about him anymore. Let's talk about something positive. Apple Music is dropping a top 100 albums of all time list.
And it's been really good so far.
It's the best list that I've seen in a very, very long time. I think Complex has tried to attack this, even by genre, and it's just been bad. I think, Rolling Stone does
Rolling Stone is the only one that I've seen do a definitive top albums ever.
Yeah.
Across all genres. And that one was it wasn't the worst thing ever.
It wasn't.
But it wasn't on the money.
Yeah. And there's like, I think that what makes it easy, not easy, but I think there is probably, like, there's albums you have to put. You know what I mean? Like, there is obvious answers that will be, placement of them is very subjective, but like, there's some shit that you have to include. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know that there's going to be a Beyonce, Frank Ocean, Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston. Like all of these artists have to have at least one album in there somewhere, you know?
Oh yeah.
So like you can there's a way that you can kind of break it down. But I was happy with the ordering of a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I wasn't really mad when they said Aquemini, the one that came out today at 41. Like that makes perfect sense for me. I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean? That doesn't feel too high.
It was a little low, but
you know, that's the perfect place for that album.
I would love to see who put this list together, who was like the executive producer of the whole list, who was involved, who was a contributor. It'd be really interesting to see the team at Apple Music that did this.
You don't think Ebro did it all?
I think he had a major role in it, honestly.
Ebro probably put some stuff together.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Do you guys have any particular picks that made you happy if you saw them? How do you feel about it?
It just instantly.
This nigga don't care.
First post,
Yeah, I don't care.
number 98. I saw my Lord album, Pure Heroin,
yeah.
and I was just like, oh, they might be onto something. And then I kept scrolling and I see Flower Boy.
Yep.
And I was
Flower
like,
Boy
oh,
was
they're
that made me
cooking.
happy. That
They're
made me
cooking
happy.
right now because those are two incredible albums.
Take Care already got posted. I was happy with that.
People
one.
were mad about that.
I think it got put in the right place. Ooh, but
50, it was like 50 something, right?
Yeah, I think so. Is that the only Drake inclusion?
Yeah.
It's and to be honest, I feel like maybe he gets one more off, but it's really just.
I think they
Take Care.
might put Views.
There's no way he gets.
I think Take Care Views. So to be honest, this is my thing with Views. Right, is like it does have One Dance on it, and One Dance is a huge and Controller, and those are huge records. But I feel like Take Care is really Drake's only classic.
If you're reading,
a
that's
classic project. I mean, yes, they're amazing projects, but a classic.
Nothing was the same. Didn't age as well as I thought it was going to age.
Really? That's surprising. I think that album has aged amazing.
Really?
Bro, I still come through. Just Hold On, We're Going Home.
Wait. Okay. I'll put Nothing Was the Same on there.
Yeah.
Just because of Just Hold On, We're Going Home.
Nothing was the same is great. I just maybe it's not even aging poorly. Maybe it's just played out still to me because I was listening to it so much. But the hits on there don't hit like they used
Pound
to.
Cake don't hit.
Pound Cake is not a hit on there. Pound Cake was not a hit, bro. It's a fucking 8-minute song.
But it's not that's Paris Morton music.
What?
It's a 2-part song.
Oh, okay. Whatever. I don't want to come off as a nothing.
That's
is the same
probably
hater.
like that's one of the most used freestyle beats ever, bro. I gotta see how many streams this has. I'm sorry, guys. Where is this shit? Why does this nigga drop so much? Oh my god. What song are we even talking about? I just forgot. Pound Cake, 275 million streams.
Not a hit in context of the album.
Are you kidding me?
Look at the hits. Started from the bottom. I don't think aged that well. From Time, I don't really like that song. Hold On, We're Going Home, incredible song.
I don't know. I think
All Me, decent, came up. That's All Me. I don't know. I don't think it aged
why
as
are
well
you
as Take
looking
Care.
at this? What is this guy looking at? This guy's looking up Challenger pictures, bro. What are we talking about? What
are you
am
doing,
I
bro?
seeing right now? What am I seeing right now?
Now I gotta execute the idea.
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, that movie's crazy.
I haven't seen it.
It's a freak movie.
Did you like it?
Honestly, you know what? I didn't at first because I watched it alone. I went to the theater downtown and watched it, and I was sitting there and I was like, "What is the point of this movie?" But then, a few weeks later, I'm enjoying it. I think it was a clever movie. Honestly, I don't know if Zendaya needed to do it, but I enjoyed it for what it was. You know.
The amount I've talked about this movie.
That's what I'm saying.
To everyone, including my family, including my friends, everyone. The amount I've spoken about this movie means they did something right. Because I can't remember the last time, like Dune 2, everyone was like, this might be the best movie ever. I've talked about Challengers probably 5 times as much as I discussed Dune 2 with people. And I'll be talking about movies with people all the time. This was like a cultural moment that everybody had something to say about it. And so regardless of...
I feel like I saw way more talk about Dune 2.
No,
I don't
bro.
think...
What are you
I saw
Yeah,
there
nah,
was
bro.
so many memes about it, bro.
Okay, but you're looking at memes. I'm talking about like real life conversations with people about movies.
You saying that you've had a discourse with people about this movie.
Yes, bro. Because whenever I show somebody this picture, they know exactly what that means. They know exactly what that.
We'll put it on screen.
I don't know what that means in the context of the movie. That's just a freak ass picture.
Well, it's because you don't. It's because you didn't see it, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. Anyone's gonna react to that in a certain way. That doesn't mean that the movie was iconic or anything.
It's not. We're not saying it's iconic.
Not iconic. Not right.
I just think that like. When I first saw it, I was like, bro, why did I watch that movie? And now I've been like laughing in my head about it. I've been having conversations about it. Like it's a talking point, and I didn't think it was gonna be. It's kind of a funny movie. Who you talking
to about this movie, bro?
Spencer.
So many people.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is like when you say like what women, you know what I mean? Like who you really talking to about this movie, bro?
Every woman that I've brought up this movie up to has seen it and wants to talk about it. And I've talked to.
Go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
What women?
Because I'll list them.
I'm not doing that.
Because
you didn't list any women.
I'm not
last
doing
time.
that. I'm not doing
so.
You
want to know what I talked about?
Names? Like, you know, he's just gonna say names.
Nadine, Kadeen, Pauline.
You know. Anyway,
we won't do it. This was the biggest cultural moment a movie has had in a long time.
You're dick riding, man. You're dick riding the movie.
It is, bro. What's bigger? What's
Dune
bigger?
2. I'll say Dune 2 easily.
Dune 2?
Yes.
What is that shit even about, bro?
You're talking about the white savior?
You know,
you're talking about the white savior
that's
movie.
That's just one level of conversation. That's not even the certain. You know what I mean? There's so much you could.
This
talk
man
about.
put on his Umar hat after we went and watched Dune 2 together, and now
I
he wants to
was
say it
just
was the
like,
biggest.
God.
Now he wants to say it was the biggest cultural moment.
You would
in a
love to
movie.
be saved by Timothy Chalamet, bro.
Miles wishes he was that tennis ball.
I think, and that's the constant thing. Zendaya is the biggest right now.
Facts.
Yeah,
that is the commonality,
and that's fair. We could all agree on that.
The biggest.
Now back to the Apple Music Top 100. Well, actually, fuck that list. We made ours.
Yeah.
So, do you want to start with sleeper albums that we don't think will be included but should, or do you want to go your top 5?
I think we should talk top 5s first.
Okay. All right. How are we gonna do it? Go 5s.
Yeah, we'll just go. We'll snake it, and then at the end we can do some stuff for social. Number 5 is
top 5 of all time.
All time. God, you're gonna get so mad. Spencer's gonna get so mad at my picks. I pandered, guys. All right,
are we? I'll start, and we'll go this way.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
You go first.
I don't want to go first.
Spencer, you start. Fuck, I pandered. I hate that I pandered a little bit, but I think I had to.
All right, we're doing our top 5 albums of all time. At number 5, I have Back to Black by Amy Winehouse. I think probably maybe the best like pop record, that I have ever heard. I think front to back, it plays great. I think some of these songs are timeless. It did the numbers to support it. It had the impact on culture to support it. And I just think I think it's one of the top 5 albums to ever come out.
We do know each other because I would have guessed you would have put that. I wasn't sure if you. I mean, yeah, that has to be. I think it's gonna be in the top because it hasn't been listed yet, right?
Right.
I think it's gonna be in the top 40.
It should be top 10.
I think that they will. It could be. She's one that like I feel like you can't place her because the question is not of talent. Because talent wise, one of the best ever. It's like, how do you feel about the actual project? You know what I mean? That's where the opinion comes in. But like undeniably one of the best voices of all time. And she's an icon. She has that like mystique about her that I think everyone in the top 5 has to have. I think like these albums that we put in like the top 10 ever, because it's not, when we take genre away from it and you're just saying like music ever, like of any album that's ever come out, it does have to like, I don't know, there has to be a certain feeling when you mention both the artist and the project. So I think she fits perfectly in this.
Are you going to go watch the movie?
Of course.
Who's playing her?
Oh, I don't actually know her name. I'll check.
I didn't know there was a movie coming out.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible.
Okay, my number 5 is Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd.
Oh my God, you are pandering. Now,
I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm going upstairs and listening to Dark Side of the Moon all the time. But the first time I heard it, in like the setting and situation I heard it in, it all made sense. You know what I mean? We could talk about that off camera. But I think that is just an album that everyone kind of knows is quality. It could get weird. You know what I mean? But there's so much messaging, so much depth to it. I think that it's bigger than it feels bigger than just like at a human level. You know what I mean? When we talk about very human things, this feels like kind of stuff that relates to society and the world. They're talking about big picture subjects. I like it. It's not my favorite though, personally, but I think that's just something that has to be acknowledged as like an objectively great album.
What's the best song off that project?
What's the one about money?
Money.
Okay, yeah. That big.
It's a
Not my favorite. I'm just talking off Mystique. You know what I mean?
It's a great album. I love Pink Floyd, but I don't know, man. I'm putting "Wish You Were Here" over "Dark Side of the Moon." If we're talking about Pink Floyd, I might put "Animals" over "Dark Side of the Moon."
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's more records on those songs, and
fair.
they still do 9-minute guitar solos that are like the definition of psych rock. David Gilmour is a top 5 guitarist of all time, and the story of Syd Barrett and Pink Floyd is one of the best stories in music history. The mystique is there. The band is incredible. I don't know if I like Dark Side top 5, but I'm not mad at it.
I've heard too many people talk about it too in other genres.
This is true.
People who aren't even in the rock genre talk about that being one of the most influential albums ever. You know, you hear Lil Yachty talking about that album.
This is facts.
I think Lil Yachty just discovered that album.
Oh, say didn't like that one. I told you I was pandering.
I think it would have been better if it came from Spencer, but
That's it from a white man. Don't put me in a box.
no, because Spencer, I know for a fact, because I'll be honest, I don't listen to Pink Floyd. I know for a fact Spencer actually listens because of the way he just talked about it.
But did I not just say that I'm not listening to it, but I have heard it?
It's okay,
and
bro.
can appreciate it.
You can cap today. It's okay.
Oh
it's
my
fine.
God. Oh my God.
So what, we're doing 5s?
Yes.
All right, so my number 5 is Jodeci, Diary of a Madman.
You know, okay.
Jodeci makes
been in a Jodeci mood. You've been listening to
Jodeci. May I speak?
Yeah.
Oh.
So my number 5 is Jodeci, Diary of a Madman. Jodeci is like some of the most sampled and iconic R&B groups of all time.
I'm gonna get mad.
What? Why are you getting mad, bro?
I'm continue. I'm being disrespectful though, and that's
all
not
right.
okay.
I'm gonna start over.
And that's
then.
not okay.
I'm gonna start over one more time. My number 5 is Jodeci, Diary of a Madman.
I'm leaving all this in.
Huh?
Nothing. I'm leaving everything for.
I'm starting over again.
Go.
My number 5, Jodeci, Diary of a Madman. Perfect crying in the rain music. Perfect Sympathy for Your Girl music. Jodeci's like obviously some of the most iconic and sampled R&B groups of all time. And I'm a pretty big Drake fan. I'm not gonna lie. And like obviously Drake samples them all the time and like references them all the time. Fiending, Cry for You are songs that I personally have been listening to a lot, like in the past like 3-4 months. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, bro. I think like just like learning a little bit more about them. Obviously I wasn't there and I wasn't really like outside during this time, but I think learning a little bit more about them, I realized how much their influence has like kind of seeped through not only R&B but hip hop. So that's why I'm putting them as my number 5 right now.
I don't want what I say to come off as Jodeci hate. Great group, great album, really good album. We're talking about, like we said, mystique, iconic shit, like stuff that is, you got to be larger than life to an extent. I think almost on this, you know what I mean? Jodeci doesn't do that for me on this project. I think it's honestly very hard for a lot of like R&B of that era. That's my favorite music. That's my favorite music to listen to, what I'm going to play more than anything else. You know what I mean? I think it has a place on the top 100 for sure. You know what I mean? If you even said top 50 with it for sure. Top 5 ever though just feels like a little bit of a reach, because once again, I think that like, I think to be top 5, I think you do have to be talking about something bigger than just a human being thing, a very individualistic thing. It doesn't feel like they're talking, like, I think you almost have to talk about societal things to an extent. That's just me personally. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all. But it's not a bad album.
I feel differently though. And it's weird because we're doing 2 lists, right? We're doing like top 5 like of albums you wish could be on the top 5, and then top 5 of like the top 5 records of all time. There's only so much music I've listened to and so much music I've consumed, and like I'm not gonna go ahead and pretend like I like Pink Floyd enough to put them in the top 5.
Damn,
bro. I don't know enough. I don't know. I couldn't name a single Pink Floyd song. I just learned one today, as did you. I like literally going back and doing my 90s R&B history, bro. Jodeci, they're the ones, bro. Jodeci, SWV, those are some of my favorite 90s R&B groups of all time, and I'm putting them in the top 5 because that is my worldview. I'm speaking from my world.
But I don't think that's the point of the top 5. That's what I'm saying. I feel you. Because if I was doing that, I would have included some 90s R&B if I'm including my worldview.
Okay.
But a top 5 list, like we're saying what should be in the top 5 for everybody.
So let me change it then.
Don't let him walk you back.
I'm gonna put the Beatles, the album where they cross across the street, as my top 5. Iconic album cover. You know what I'm saying? Obviously the Beatles.
Watch Abbey Road is gonna be Miles' 4th.
They're dope. You know what I'm saying?
It's on there.
Enough said. I don't listen to the Beatles, but because they crossed that road one time, and because I know other people think they're iconic, that's what I'm gonna put as my top 5. So.
You guys took like opposite approaches with number 5, and it's really funny. I can't speak to the Jodeci pick because, to be honest, I have not heard that album. I'm gonna go listen to that album, and I'll let you know if it's top 5 ever for me.
It won't be. It will not be.
I'll let you know. Can we move on?
Yes.
At number 4, I have Exodus by Bob Marley.
Oh my God, this nigga just saw the movie.
No, bro, no, you can't lie like everybody in the world hasn't been listening to that album since they were young. That is the most universal album, maybe in American music history.
It's not a terrible choice. I
think it is the most universal album in American history. Even though I know he's not an American. I know he's not an American, but I'm talking about from American consumption.
Okay. Like, what do you mean? Like, it's the most universal album for America?
I think it was the most connecting, most universal album. I think
ever
it's something.
Made.
I think it's something that everybody listened to and agreed on was incredible music across any race, any age, any financial situation. Everybody loves Bob Marley, and as like ultra music fans, ultra music critics, you can't tell me that album's not incredible.
Yeah. No hate. No, I think I was only hating just because it just feels so relevant because the movie is out right now.
But that's not why I did it.
And I think that it does epitomize what I was saying. You have to be talking about something bigger than yourself. I think that is a situation and a sentiment. What he's talking about, that album, understanding people. You know what I mean? Looking at your neighbor and we don't what they were going through at the time of that album is something that has happened throughout history. So I'm with it. I think anyone young or old is gonna get that, bob your head to it, be like, I could get behind this, I can support this.
It's a timeless.
I'm not mad at that.
It's a timeless story of overcoming struggle and being resilient and seeing positivity in everything. And Tell Me Three Little Birds is not one of the most iconic songs ever recorded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's shit that you even a child, to the point where children can listen to it.
Children can listen to it. I can listen to that. Everybody hears that music, bro. And just the way that it was slightly Americanized when we got to Exodus, I think really pushed it over the edge because it wasn't too much. That's still a reggae album. That's still a Jamaican album. You know what I mean? But the little influence of the psych rock movement with a little bit of guitar in there, I think it's just for everyone.
I'm good with that. Do you like Bob Marley? You cool with that one being top 4 or top 5?
I'm cool with everything Spencer said. You though, buddy, I'm not sure.
That's hate. Why we gotta come with negativity? We didn't agree on 5. Maybe we'll agree going forward. All right. Can I say my 4 and see if you hate it?
I do hope that I agree with you moving. Actually, you know what? No.
You don't want to agree?
I hope that you make a sensible choice for the next one.
Okay.
That's what I'll say.
My number 4 is Channel Orange by Frank Ocean.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
It is.
I think that's something that is undeniable from both a writing and vocal performance standpoint. I think that there's hits on there. I think that there's deep cuts on there that are dope. I think that it's a very interesting perspective that he kind of made worldwide because Forrest Gump is about a gay man wanting for another, you know what I mean, coming into sexuality, wanting someone else, and I could still listen to that song and be like, I get this, I relate to this, I understand this feeling, even though I've never been through this experience, because he talks about everything in such a creative, universal way.
Yeah,
love it, just innovative. I don't think anything sounds like Frank Ocean music, and I think that was him perfecting his sound for the first time. I think a lot of people would say that Blonde is his best work, but to me, I think that nothing will ever top this from his discography.
I think, yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at you. I think it's a top 5 personal favorite album of all time for me. I don't know if it has quite the cultural impact that I think it needs to be top 5 all time ever, but it's a perfect album. It's a perfect sounding album, so I can't be mad at you.
How do you feel about that pick? Are you?
I liked it.
You're not gonna yell at me for it. That's cool.
No. Frank Ocean, that's a good pick. Okay, good job.
Okay. Thank you.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Why you already have the list prepared?
Yeah,
So-
he pretends like he's picking it right now.
Let's see.
Maybe he's audibling because he didn't like his Jodeci pick. His number 4 was SWV.
You know,
So at number 4, I think I'm gonna go with Adele 21. Adele's an icon. First of all, let's just put it at that. Like, first and foremost, I don't know any other artist that has never collaborated, like features or anything else, and has as many hits as her.
Wow, I never even realized she's never collaborated.
Bro, she has no features on her project or on anyone else's project.
That's wild.
That I know of it.
That's wild.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, this album has hits. Rumor has it, Rolling in the Deep.
21 was
Someone
one of the
Like
best,
You, Fire to the Rain. I mean, these are just timeless, iconic records. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I feel like Adele has always been a personal favorite, but I think this is her best album for sure. And I think like 30 was cool, but there were only so many songs that I related to, maybe because I'm not 30 yet, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is her best project and most relatable, and probably most introspective from my opinion. But I don't know.
Not mad at you. Like I said earlier with my Amy pick, I feels like there's 2 ways you could go if you're picking a European female vocal, like pop vocalist, and I think it's back to Black or 21, and I think you can make a case for either. And so I think, yeah, this album obviously dominated our early life. I think when it's come out, 2011. Yeah, 2011. You know, like you couldn't escape this album. I wrongfully boxed her in a little earlier when I said it's all kind of like dreary, sad music. It's not, because like, yeah, Rolling in the Deep, iconic song, classic song, not a sad song.
It is a little difficult though, because like I said, I think this is my favorite album from her, and she hasn't really beat it yet.
Yeah,
I would have included this in my top 5.
Okay.
I actually like looking at it, really thinking about it, and like acknowledging everything. I think it is either like Amy or her, and I think she's just a little bit more like, I don't know what it is about her, honestly.
It's because it's that we lived through it, and so we felt it.
Yeah, that's probably it. But this is actually a very, very good pick, because I think that she just has like, men or women could get it. You know what I mean? It's diverse. It's diverse. I think anyone can understand Adele. She's good.
We need the Adele Rod Wave Club.
All right,
that needs to happen.
You're reaching.
Rod Wave is tired of sad beats. Get him some future.
He was so
shit.
mad. So mad.
All right. At number 3, I have My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West.
Man, stolen from me.
I mean, you can still do it. I think it's probably going to be on all of our lists. You know, I think it wasn't a question. Honestly, I just had to really sit down and say, which Kanye album am I going to put in my top 5? Because there are 3 that I could make a case for. But when I really sat down and looked at it from this global lens, from this, is it subjective or objective?
Objective.
From this objective lens, this is his masterpiece. It's his magnum opus. It has like some of the best rapping he's ever done, some of the best songwriting he's ever done. The production is out of this world. It's a perfect album, and it has so many different sounds throughout the course of the whole runtime that I think everyone could find something on here. I think the message is like profound, more profound than, like, I wanted to put College Dropout on here, but I think what he's actually talking about on Twisted Fantasy makes it a little bit more impactful culturally.
I didn't put any rap in my top 5.
There's
No
interesting.
rap albums, just because I think that there's so many. Like, my perspective was, I think there's a lot of people who just don't like the way rap sounds. So I'm like, you know, like, I think there's a significant amount of people that don't. But best Kanye album, like, yeah, one of my top 3 probably favorite, highest quality bodies of work I've ever heard in my entire life.
No rap in your top 5.
No rap in my top 5. No rap in my top 5. I don't think I listen to the best. I don't think my music is objectively the best music in the world.
All right.
You know what I mean? I listen to V's all the time. I don't think V's is gonna go top 5.
No Kanye in your top 5 is disgusting.
No Kanye in my top
That's
5.
disgusting.
No Kanye in my top 5. You know who is in my top 3?
Oh God.
Who? I guess you're gonna say next after
The album where they're walking across the street.
Name three songs name 3 songs off Abbey Road right
Here
now.
Comes the Sun, Oh Darling. I can't name a third.
There we go, bro. I don't. That's why I don't like this conversation.
I can't. But is it not objectively an iconic album,
bro? Get it off. Go ahead.
I've listened to the album. Not my type of music. Not people I can relate to in the world. But if I play it from top to bottom, I'm gonna have an enjoyable experience. Honest to God. And I think most people throughout any generation will. Basic pick. Very basic pick.
Here's my problem with it, Miles.
Okay.
My problem is I do feel like you're reaching, and I don't feel like you've listened to the scope of their music.
It's because this and the White Album are the 2 best, right or no?
I will go
Sgt. Pepper,
Revolver, White Album, Rubber Soul, Sgt. Pepper, Abbey Road. If I'm being honest, you know what I mean. And like, I think just because this is like the most iconic picture that people put for the Beatles, it's them as a band. It's not. Bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could go many different ways.
Watch.
What are you gonna do? Type in the Beatles?
No, I'm gonna click the album.
Okay.
And do what? Just go through. I think there's just iconic songs on there.
I mean, it starts with "Come Together," bro. That's one of the biggest hits ever.
Oh, darling. No, I won't even do that one. Here Comes the Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 alone, we've heard our entire lives.
Now go click on the White Album.
Our entire lives.
Back in the USSR, Obla Di Obla Da.
But I don't
know
My
Guitar Gently Weeps.
But I don't
you
know
don't know
those songs.
My Guitar Gently Weeps?
No, I've never heard those songs. Those
Blackbird.
Songs, that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying.
Bro.
These are songs that have never come up in my life.
Helter Skelter?
But these are songs that I've never... Like,
and that's what I'm saying. And I don't think you like this kind of music, bro.
But that's why I'm saying I don't.
Yeah.
That's why I put it in my top 5. Because I don't seek out, understand, or listen to the Beatles music frequently. But these other songs on Abbey Road have come up throughout my life. And then when I go and I actually sit down and listen to the album, which is not my favorite type of music at all, not the stuff I'm listening to in my free time, I have to intentionally say, I'm going to sit down and listen to this so I can have an opinion on it. It's really good music. And I don't think that my perspective on music or what I listen to day to day has to be the best. I think just looking outside of myself and the way that everyone talks about this, I have to give it its flowers. Is that the craziest thing in the world? Am I crazy for taking that perspective?
For having no rap and putting Pink Floyd and the Beatles on your list, you're a little crazy. As someone that I think frequently hates on this kind of music.
But I think that there's rap albums in the top 10 ever. I think top 5 ever, you have to do shit that everyone is going to probably like. Like, there's a song for everybody in the world. I don't think there's a song for everybody in the world on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I don't.
All right.
Miles believes rap doesn't belong in the top 5 albums of all time.
I don't think that's a crazy statement at all. I think it's in the top 10 though.
That should be your hot take. Can you say my number 3 is Abbey Road?
My number 3 is Abbey Road.
Thank you. All right, go ahead. Unless you have more things to say to him.
He don't have nothing to say to me because he thinks I'm wrong. But it's like I think my reasoning isn't crazy. I really don't.
For my number 3, I'm gonna put "Take Care" by Drake. To me, Take Care is an iconic project and the best of his discography. Obviously, we're all Drake fans to some extent, right? But I just feel like the way that he changed the scope of hip hop with this project, especially at a time when I started listening, was just iconic and super impactful. You know, obviously The Weeknd is all over this project, and I think that's part of it. I think that's part of why I think it's his best project. I mean, Cameras, what's it called? Over My Dead Body, like all these different songs to me like signal a time in my life where I didn't listen to rap at all and then transitioned into becoming a huge rap fan, like through Drake, Kanye, Chief Keef, and all that. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think that was a very good explanation. But
what's worse, what he's doing, what I'm doing?
They both suck.
What is wrong with what I'm doing?
What you're doing is you're ignoring worldview. To me, you're speaking extremely personally, and part of me respects that more than what you're doing.
But what I'm doing is more right.
I think I respect your list a little bit more. I think your list is a little more right, but his list, at least he can say it with his chest and he can talk about the tracks on there.
Facts.
So I'm a little mad at both of you. Drake, okay, maybe, okay, like not for me.
It's not top 5. It's not top 5 ever. It's an iconic rap album.
It's a great album.
It's an iconic album of all time. It's
album.
placed perfectly at like number like 50 something, 60 something.
Yeah,
of all time.
it's not the craziest pick in the world.
It's crazy for top 5. For top 5 ever.
No,
top 5 music to ever come out.
Yeah, because realistically, there's only like I'm not doing what Miles is doing. I'll be honest. I have 2 rap albums on there because that's my favorite genre ever, and I think very important genre societally. You know what I mean? I think it's having crazy impact and it's huge. But like, if you only have like 1 or 2 rap spots, I think you got to pick shit that changed the world, and I don't think Take Care did. But that's just me.
I think the problem with this segment is that I see both of the questions as the same. Because to me, like, it's like, all right, I get it. Like, there's like a greater worldview of music that, you know, should be in the top 5 and that is game changing and all this different stuff and then moved mountains, right? But to me, this music did that in my life. So,
but we're not talking about just your life. We're talking about music as a whole, societal.
But what else do I know besides my life?
You can see what's happening in the world.
I think the goal for this, the way I came into it, is I was like, let me pick from the pool that has been decided. Mm-hmm. There's a pool of, I'd say, 200 albums.
Yes.
300 albums that we can all agree on. Maybe that's too many. Maybe 100 albums that have the mystique, have sold well enough, have had cultural impact, that these are all valid picks. Now, I could go anywhere from 100 to 1 and make my selections, but I'm not going to reach outside of that 100 and grab a Jodeci album. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to respect cultural impact, but I'm still going to tailor it to what has changed my life. Mm-hmm. And honestly, Take Care, it is in that pool. So it's not, I don't think it's the worst pick ever. It's not what I would have done, but you know, if it changed your life, I'm glad.
It's not top 5. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you for respecting my decision.
Number 2.
Moving on. Number 2 is What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. If we're talking about music that changed the world, you know what I mean? And just soul music done to the highest degree. You know, like to me, Stevie is the guy for soul because of all the albums that are incredible. But if we're just talking one body of work, it's What's Going On. The commentary and the way that you could hear the pain and the struggle in his voice while he's delivering these songs, I've never heard anything like it. And just the musicality of it, top to bottom, incredible project, plays in so many moods. It's undoubtedly one of the top 5 albums to ever come out.
I agree. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The 2 that I would have taken the two pandering picks out for would be 21 by Adele and What's Going On. What's Going On is up there.
Yeah,
I think Stevie's more palatable. That's why, you know what I mean? I think he might have the all-time edge, and obviously he's still alive. Mm-hmm. I think that Marvin Gaye passing away when he did definitely hurt just how he's like kind of remembered a little bit now, just because he's not in the public eye as much. Mm-hmm. But writing-wise, vocal delivery-wise, without ever over-singing, like saying everything perfectly, exactly how it needed to be sung, never overspoke or over-explained what he was saying. Mm-hmm. Never over-specified, but still painted vivid pictures with songs. I mean, the title track is is maybe one of the best songs ever. Like, yeah,
and it's something. It's something that was polarizing, like you said, but also it shouldn't be. You know what I'm like? I feel like if I was alive, it would have been really interesting to see like people, like white people's reception to this album while I'm alive, because I feel like there would have been pushback and there would have been like, what is this? But then you look at the song, Save the Children. How are you mad about that? How are you anti saving the children? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, there was that perception. I think that people that look like him, came from what he came from, maybe couldn't articulate things and talk about things as large, relevant, and like just true. You know what I mean? Niggas didn't want him to be so. He was too impactful. Too smart, and niggas hated that. But that's a good pick. That's a really, really good pick.
Thank you.
My number 2 is The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. I think that the most universal feeling in the entire world that everyone can relate to is love. And I think that this album talks about love in the most diverse, intelligent way that any project ever has. Talks about every form of love, whether it's loving your neighbor, loving a child, relationships, falling in and out of love, spirituality, you know what I mean? On top of being, does this count as a rap? It's not rap. This is the most, you know what I mean?
You walk the line. I'm glad you have at least a little hip hop on there.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because she could sing her ass off, but then the way that she was rapping on this was fire. A little bit of reggae influence. I think just a perfect album. Hits, deep cuts again.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It plays for everyone. It plays for niche fans like us and on the radio.
Yeah.
She does like you said. I agree with everything you said. It's a perfect album.
Everyone's grown up with.
I wanted to put that one on there, but I knew you'd cover it.
Yeah. We're at number 2.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing to say about it. Nobody else picks.
I know. It's okay.
What do you mean it's okay? No. Because what are we talking about? You have a problem with Lauryn Hill being on the top 5?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think it's a really good pick. I think that's your best pick, and I think it's the most true to yourself. And
This nigga.
I respect that.
You don't think Channel Orange counts? I'll be listening to Frank Ocean.
I think it's a really good pick. It just doesn't make sense with like the rest of your list, really. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it ages. My my number 2 is, it was taken by Spencer already, but My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yep.
First of all, Kanye is arguably the greatest artist of all time.
Yep. Not mad at that.
This is the greatest artist of all time's most complete and well thought out project, from top to bottom, in terms of storytelling, cover art, rollout, and just immersing you in the world that he was in during this time period. This is a time period you really had to just be in and live through to really get it. He had just gone through the death of his mother, the Taylor Swift incident, and he addresses all that on the project, and just like his struggles with relationships and finding love as well. And then, like, honestly, I think the most iconic part of this rollout is his VMAs performance, where he plays Runaway. I mean, just like that one, like, I guess it's like a piano or like keystroke or whatever. It's just haunting, bro. I remember watching that and just being like, yo, what is going on? And then seeing all the ballerinas come on stage, and then that tying into the movie he releases later. Like, it's a really dope timepiece. And to be honest, like, this is like probably my most nostalgic Kanye project, because it wasn't even that long ago technically in the grand scheme of things, but I do really wish that he would, do another project like this. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. I think that we have to enjoy what he's put out for what it is.
Facts. This is the right answer. This is something that should have been on all 3 of our lists. This is Da Vinci's Mona Lisa. This is Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is that. And you can kind of take 2 approaches when you're talking about albums, and I think you can either go for what influenced the most things or the modern pick that was influenced. And to me, the correct answer is the modern pick, because music continues to evolve and get better, as we find new sounds as a species and start to compile them. And this is a culmination of everything that modern music had done up until that point, all put into one beautiful piece of work. This is the right answer.
Is it the best? I think it's the best rap album of all time, easily. I think that's not even a question. I think this is like rap music done in a way that no one has ever even tried to attempt to do.
I think so. The reason I wouldn't say the best rap album of all time is because I do think I wouldn't necessarily say that Kanye is the best rapper of all time. I think sometimes he falls short when it comes to lyricism, and not that he necessarily fell short on this project, but I do think that there are people that out-rap him on this project from top to bottom.
But this is the closest he ever was to them. Gorgeous. If you listen to a song like Gorgeous, that is one of the best rap verses ever.
And I think Kanye up until this point could go bar for bar with most people. I think Kanye was in the conversation very early on as being one of those great rappers. I say it's this because I think that one thing that rap music is missing comparatively to a lot of other stuff is being epic all the time, like being some shit you could see in like a stadium being performed, like crazy light show fire shit. And I think this is easily the most epic rap album of all time. I think this elevated the genre, the way that he approached the live performance of this. Like it all just felt bigger, like larger than life. Mm-hmm. This was the first time that I think Kanye really embraced what he is now, which has kind of led him to being off the rails. But like he was like he said, no one man should have all this power. Yeah. Get more money, more talented, and everything. I can't miss right now. Up until this point, he literally hadn't missed.
Yeah, you're right. I respectively disagree with the sentiment. But before we spoil my pick, let me not explain. And let's get into number one.
Wow,
Number one, I think the best album of all time is To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. That is the best album I've ever heard. It is the most sonically diverse. If we're coming from a perspective of just literature and writing, and we're talking concepts, we're talking the poem at the end, we're talking about the way he ends it with Mortal Man, the stories he tells with something like How Much a Dollar Cost. If we're talking about actual production and what Terrence Martin and Robert Glasper did on this project from a music point of view, the way that it pulled from jazz, soul, blues, and incorporated the best rapping that I've ever heard in my life, to me, this is the greatest album ever recorded.
I was going to argue with you, but I'm not mad at the pick.
Like, and the cultural impact. Plus, I'm not mad at the pick. I didn't even speak on what it did for everyone. You know,
I'm not mad at the pick. Yeah. If you like rap music, I think this is easily the best rap album ever. It's different. Like traditional rap music, like, you know what I mean? Like that stuff. If you like rapping,
yeah,
this is the best rap album ever. If you like jazz, it's modernizing a jazz sound. If you want like a message with whatever you're doing, this has a very clear message while still also having layers to it. Like, this checks a lot of boxes. This is it. I'm not mad at it.
And I think a big thing for me on my list and what makes albums immortal is I picked a lot of revolutionaries. And I think that's important. I think when you're going against the grain and shifting culture, like Kendrick did, like Bob Marley did, you know what I'm saying? Like Marvin Gaye did. To me, that album is going to live forever because that is the timestamp of when an artist used art to change the world. And I think that's what makes an album incredible.
Oof. I'm not mad at that. I think that there's two ways to look at it. Because I think what I'll say when I go into mine is I think that there's either things that need to be said, revolutionary shit that could potentially be divisive, but it needs to be talked about, or music that is unity music that brings people together.
True.
You know what I mean? Things that everyone could get behind and be like, this is something I love.
That's more the Bob Marley route.
Yes.
Whereas Kendrick is more the...
Yes.
Yeah, I see it.
100%. My number one album of all time is Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder.
It's a great pick.
I think that, once again, a song like Isn't She Lovely, we've heard since before we were born. I think that our parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, our kids, grandkids will hear this music and be like, I get this.
Yeah.
This makes sense. You know what I mean? You go, I wish as. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much stuff off this that is well produced, but like you don't even, it's not dominating like you were saying. You know what I mean? Like, I think you talking about the beauty of Sade. You know what I mean? Like, it can just be around. It's almost like a feeling. You know what I mean? It makes you feel good inside. It makes you feel warm inside. That's kind of what this does. You know, driving around with the top down, like in your car, however old you are. You know,
yeah.
I really do think that's a thing too. You know, because I think some of this stuff like that I know I play to relax, or some of the stuff that I fuck with, you know, like I'll play it for my dad and he'll be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But when he played this for me, you know what I mean? It changed my perspective, you know? So I go with that.
I mean, what's dope about your pick as opposed to mine is Songs in the Key of Life is very much the soundtrack to a beautiful life. You know what I'm saying? And that in itself is beautiful, and that might be the sole purpose. If that's the sole purpose of why you listen to music, then that's cool. It doesn't always need to be to upturn fucking modern day norms and be a counterculture. Sometimes it can just be the soundtrack to being gracious for the gift of life, and that's what this is.
Yes.
Cool.
Do you have a problem with that pick, Jose?
No, it was great. You're doing really good. You're doing really well.
Who is this guy?
I gotta know what this number one is.
Okay. My number one pick for the number one album of all time is Thriller by Michael Jackson. I think that Michael Jackson is undeniably the biggest superstar that this world has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, this is really talking through just like watching his videos and hearing what my parents had to say about Michael Jackson and doing the research. I wasn't even alive during a time when he was at his height, right? But, you know, that one video of him coming out on the balcony and people fainting and like just him being chased by people all around the world and just seeing his impact. I think he is the biggest superstar we've had, and I think Thriller is his best project top to bottom. We've got Thriller on there. We've got Beat It, Pretty Young Thing. What else is on there? Human Nature is also on this project.
Want to be starting something as the intro.
I love The Girl Is Mine.
It is an undeniable, like, classic is, it's undeniably a classic, but it's probably his best project. It's got the most hits. I think this belongs in everybody's top albums of all time, if not number one, but I'm putting it at number one. So
yeah,
it's a good pick.
After hearing you guys' list, I would definitely redo my list. I think this could replace some of the Caucasian.
Yeah, because you know it's just like the other thing about Michael Jackson is he's not only like worldwide and global, but he's generational. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think my kids will be listening to Michael Jackson, and that's just something that, you know, only somebody that makes timeless music can do.
That was my hesitancy with rap music, because I feel like an old person isn't gonna get it.
I think the thing that we have to talk about when we are talking about with hip hop is that hip hop is relatively new when it comes to all these genres. And I don't think it's had the same amount of time to mature as some of the other genres. Like, there's probably artists that are coming out now that will be considered like the Michael Jacksons of rap, you know? Like, I mean, I know, and that's definitely a hot take, but you never know.
No, because I mean, I think Pink Floyd was the culmination of the rock movement, of like Brit rock, and they're like 70s. So that is like 20 years into the genre. We're finally getting into like what's really the best. So I'm not mad at that.
I mean, and that's why, you know, that leans into the Kendrick Lamar point, like the even Kanye point. Like, we're getting around this time, we are getting to the best of the best. You know what I mean? Because I think those two might be the peak of what rap can be.
Interesting. So something I do want to talk about, like serious conversation, is I think it's interesting that you as like a hip hop fan and a rap fan have been kind of like downplaying like rap in the mainstream culture and movement. Like, I get what you're saying, but I almost feel like that take doesn't really make sense to me, just because of like the way that it's at least impacted you. I don't know. Yeah. And I know you're saying like globally and all this type stuff, but if anything, bro, it's just too new to be having the impact that some of these other projects have had.
That's what I'm saying. And like, I think like the main thing that you hit on is generationally. Like, I just think that there's so many people. Like, my dad does not, like, my dad gets music. Like, he really, really likes music. I think he's one of the smartest music people I know, but he's not going to get this rap stuff. Like, the Kanye stuff is too vulgar for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people just can't hear. Like, there's a song where he's literally talking about, I just fell in love with a porn star.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like, it's very, if you get it, you understand its greatness. You know what I mean? I love it, but I just don't think a lot of people understand that. Like, a lot of people are going to hear, I don't want to say the black of the berry on that, but like, even like This Dick Ain't Free on Kendrick shit, and it's gonna be like, oh my god, I can't play this. You know what I mean? We get it, but it's like, you know, I gotta look outside myself and like think of like the 70-year-olds.
But I mean, I think you should think about the 70-year-olds. Like, think about your dad and be like, do you think your dad? Obviously, he's not gonna get rap because he grew up when he grew up. Mm-hmm. Do you think he would have preferred to grow up when you grew up, as opposed to when he did?
Definitely. What?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of feel like rap is the soundtrack and the driving force that has created like a better America for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
What you're saying.
And that's kind of why I think it should be validated as something that's the best
I
music
see
ever.
what you're saying.
You know?
And there's a lot of influence from like a James Brown. You know what I mean? Like the sentiment, like the.
But that was the influence. But this is when it finally did what James Brown started.
I'm saying I
so
feel
long
you.
ago.
I feel you. That's what I'm saying. Like because I think he would appreciate that, and I think if he grew up now, he'd be a fan of rap music.
Yeah, you know? That's what I'm trying to get at.
It's not a bad take. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I think both of these projects, and like if I'm saying like top 10 all time, which is still very high praise, you put both of these rap albums in it for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, great picks, guys. Really, really good picks. Quick hitter wise, so what are some shits that you think more personally now, which I really am excited for, because I think this will be where I can show my personality more. Hopefully you won't be mad at these picks as much. What are 5 albums that you wish would be on the top 100 that you think might not make it?
Are we going to do the same bounce back and forth?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that Blood, Sex, Sugar, and Magic by the Red Hot Chili Peppers is probably going to get snubbed. But to me, that's without a doubt a top 100 album of all time.
Okay.
I think the intersection of hip hop and rock was a big moment in the 90s that kind of brought hip hop to the forefront. It helped if you see what happened with like Run DMC and the Beastie Boys. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think anyone did it like the Chili Peppers, because it wasn't hip hop rock, which today sounds corny and dated. It was also funk. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Flea is the best bassist to ever fucking live, and I will stand on that. Yeah. That is some of the funkiest shit I've ever heard. And the Red Hot Chili Peppers has been something that's been consistent throughout my whole life, from the time I was 8 years old, 10 years old, starting to play the guitar, to today when I'm in a rut, I'll throw that music on. And it starts with the power of equality. You know what I'm saying? It's music for everyone. It's music that sounds like the 90s to me, and it's a great album.
I definitely love equality. One of my picks, I can't even put them in order, but one of my picks was Doris by Earl Sweatshirt.
Okay.
I don't need that high in there, but I need that to be acknowledged for what it is as one of the greatest rapping performances across an album by anybody. The way that man finds double, triple entendres, flow pockets over these unique ass beats, has some of the best features from like people who are now super influential in the genre. Early Earl Sweatshirt, or early Tyler the Creator, RZA also, Mac Miller, God rest his soul. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much iconic shit across that album. I think that was one of the top 3 best projects to ever come out the Odd Future camp, to be honest. And it was such a hard pivot from where he was as that goofy 16-year-old kid who did Earl, came back after getting sent away from boarding school and is all black, dark. Like, it was hinting at everything that he became now, because it was so different from everything else that was coming out of that camp with the bright colors and all that shit. It's like, nah, maybe I'm growing up. I'm becoming a new person. And it was great. Love that album.
Great pick. Not top 3 Odd Future album, but move on.
Yeah, I think on mine, something that I don't think will get any recognition, but is a great project to me and deserves to be on that list, is Solange True.
True.
It is one of it's my favorite Solange project, honestly. It sounds like the 80s. It sounds like just like young, lost, trying to figure out like yourself and like what true love means to you. Lovers in the Parking Lot. Amazing record. Some Things Never Seem to Fucking Work. Amazing record. And it's just a well done, cohesive project. I love the album art too. I know that there's other Solange albums that people would probably put in that top 100, but to me, that's her best project. And my favorite project.
Is that the one with the song you put on weekly rotation?
Yeah.
Tell me the time am I losing you? That song fuck my shit up, bro. That is an incredible song, and I've never listened to that album, and I really need to.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And again, I know she's got other projects, bro. I really think that's my favorite and her best. Yeah, personally, but
I'd have to go back and listen to that.
An album that's not gonna make it probably because of how new it is, but I think deserves to be on there is African Giant by Burna Boy.
Wrong.
I don't know.
Whoa. What do you mean wrong?
I mean, I'll say.
Afro beats is the moment, bro, and it's such incredible positive music. And to me, this is the Afro beats album. And I know some people might think it's like a WizKid album, right? right? You think it's a Wizkid album?
What do you mean it's a Wizkid album?
I'm saying some people might say like the Afrobeat album to the American consumer is a Wizkid album, but to me it's African Giant. This is what introduced me to the genre. This is what made me really understand the genre, and to me this is still the highest quality album that I've heard in the Afrobeat space.
I'm not gonna lie, I like the take, and I really don't think that Wizkid. I mean, I think Burna is better than Wizkid. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah,
but. Personally, I don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna say much more. I agree with your take, bro.
Yeah, okay, so I'll go into my next one. Mine is Made in Lagos by Wizkid.
There you go.
And I think that there's still a chance for that album to actually get mentioned. I don't know, because like I think Afrobeat is the newest thing since reggae music to have that feeling of love, positivity, good vibrations just emanating from the entire genre.
Yeah.
Like I think to make Afrobeat music, I heard Rema speak on it. He said it is a lot of vibrations. Like the way that they talk about women, love, relationships, it's with a very positive context that I think like we, especially as Americans, can't relate to just because we're in such like a negative climate all the time. Everyone wants to be sad and shit. There's hits. Like this one like has hits that transcended everything. I think this is one of those things you could play for anybody. Mm-hmm. I think Burna is great. I think African Giant is probably the Burna Boy album, but yeah, I tend to be a little bit more of a Wizkid fan than Burna Boy.
Fair. I disagree, but fair.
Okay, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Another album I would put up there is let me look at my list. Oh, easy. Another album I'd put up there personally is Finally Rich by Chief Keef. It's funny because earlier in this video, I talked about how I didn't love other Chief Keef projects. And even the latest one I haven't even really listened to because he's changed his sound. But when this album came out, bro, it changed everything for me. Like, this is one of the reasons, along with Kanye, that I started, like, really listening to rap music. And it's just fun, bro. Like, obviously at the time it's jarring, right? Because Chief Keef is this, like, kind of like shadowy figure that's coming out of the south side of Chicago talking about, or south side or what
sounded right.
Yeah, it's coming out of Chicago making this like kind of violent, like dark music. But when the full project came out, it was just fun club party records. I mean, you got Diamonds, you got Hate Being Sober, you got I Don't Like. These are all out. These are all records that when I was listening to, it was like turn up music in the gym. Like before a big like soccer game or whatever, I would go listen to it. Like, I don't know, bro. Like Chief Keef, to me, he changed the game, and this is a classic project. And sometimes artists only got one classic project. That's fine.
That's fine.
But yeah, Finally Rich belongs in this category.
I think that's top 100.
Nice pick.
I think that's the top 100 album.
I think Diamond Life by Sade should be in the top 100. To me, that's the best Sade album. I think it's an incredible vibe. I put it on top to bottom in many different instances. I think it has my favorite Sade songs on there. Yeah, I mean, we talked about Sade a little earlier, but to me, she does something that not a lot of other people do. And I think it's a unique branch of soul R&B that, to me, I don't have a lot of contemporaries that I think sound like her and make the same kind of music and have the same kind of groove while being so like soft spoken, but never too quiet, never fading into the background for me personally.
I have Hendrix by Future as one of my picks. I think that Future is top 5 all-time rapper. I think that we're just now coming to terms with him being one of the current best out still, even at 40, when I think the longevity is extremely impressive. And I think this is his most digestible project, most diverse project. I think that this shows not only how much of a hit maker he is, but just how purely talented he is. Like, I don't think there's many people who could do this and make this sound. I think there's actually only 2 people who could make this sound while still, of course, pulling elements from iconic artists, both from current day, getting people like The Weeknd and Chris Brown, and the past. I think you do see like the Atlanta influence of this historically. So yeah, great album. My favorite Future album.
I'm stepping on Miles' Future take, and I'm putting Monster up there instead.
Okay.
I mean, Throwaway, Coding Crazy, My Savages. I just feel like that project is where we see Future transition from trap star making trap music to rock star, and just somebody that is changing his perspective and changing like where he's going with the sound and like what he's doing with it. I feel like that project, like I said, My Savages, Monster, and what else?
Coding Crazy.
Coding Crazy.
Throwaway.
Which I said early, Throwaway. Like, these records are classic Future records to me. So
why did none of us put Dirty Sprite 2? DS2.
You know, it's weird because people are always on some like that is his best project. I get it for the club for sure, but it's not something I like listen to. You know what I mean?
Would you be mad if you saw it on the top 100 all the time?
I wouldn't be mad because
Right.
it has so many like it's party club records.
How do you know I'm not going to put that on?
You might. Are you?
No, but that's the one that should be on the list.
Right,
Honestly,
right. I feel
objectively,
you.
that's
You
the
know
one.
what I mean?
I like both those records better than DS2, but DS2
Is the one to
put on the list. And they probably still will. So that's why I
don't
like
think
both of the
Ooh,
picks.
really? You think they put DS2 in the
Yes.
top 40?
Yeah, I think
that'd be tough.
That's the best trap album ever.
If you put,
It is. It is. Moving on.
Barter 6 maybe.
I got my last two albums. I still have a lot of hope for that they're gonna put in the top 40, but something tells me they're not, and it's gonna break my heart. I'm gonna go Electric Ladyland by Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
To me, it's just the best album to come out of the 60s, plain and simple. You know what I mean? It's the most innovative. It's the most interesting. It's the best songwriting. He's the best guitarist to ever live. Jimi Hendrix is an example of a human being a channel and honestly just receiving a signal from God, the divine life force, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and just blanking out and channeling that into a spiritual experience of music. To me, it's the best psych rock album of all time. It's probably the most influential guitar album of all time. And I think they'll probably put one of his first two albums on the list, but this is the one for me that I think belongs there.
They'll put Jimi Hendrix somewhere on there.
But I don't think they're going to do Electric Ladyland, which is what they need to do.
I don't think that this album, similar situation to what I think,
Yeah.
to what you just said. I put Vampire Weekend's self-titled project, their first one.
I like that.
I would love for that to be somewhere in the top 100. I think that this is the complete antithesis of what I am, what I should feel related to. Yet in the time of my life when I heard this as like a high school senior about to go to college, for some reason this album provided me a lot of comfort. The fucking African drums on Mansard Roof as the intro track are incredible. Some of the most creative writing ever. You know, I mean, you have Oxford comma right after that.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about like Lil Jon on this album and it makes it sound relatable. Then you got like tracks that seem like they'd fit perfectly in like a coming of age movie with a Walcott and the Kids Will Be All Right. This is music that I think really helped me grow up and expand my music taste while still incorporating elements that me as like a hip hop R&B fan still feels really familiar with. They might put Modern Vampires of the City
Yeah, that's my
on
favorite.
there, but this is like one of my favorite albums ever.
I like that.
Great pick. I love it.
I think another album that should be up there that I'm not sure is gonna get its shine is Confessions by Usher.
Okay.
Oh, it'll get its shot.
I think they'll put
no,
it
no,
in.
they already put it. It was it was 90, like it was between 90 and 100.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, okay, so it barely made it on there.
It
But
probably
I mean,
should be a little higher. That's a great project.
I think a little higher. I mean, simply because like obviously Usher is a pioneer for like modern day R&B and even hip hop in a sense. But I think if you go to any party or function, you're gonna hear at least one of these songs playing. And I'm not talking about just Usher in general. I'm talking about Confessions specifically. I mean, from like Confessions Part 2 to Yeah, like these songs are played everywhere. You know what I mean? Also, we have to throw in that Usher invented Justin Bieber. So that's a whole other thing we gotta throw in there for Usher, man. But he gotta be recognized. I think Confessions is the right way to do it. I'm glad they did it, but
I think he's
that's
gonna
my
get
pick.
another one. I think they might put 8701 on there.
Ooh.
That's my favorite Usher. That's my
Wait,
favorite.
are they doing two, like from artists or no?
I think they can.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no.
I don't think they have yet, but I think
No,
they can.
I think they might put that top 40.
All right, and my last album that I'm not sure is gonna make the list, but definitely should be on the list is "Mama's Gun" by Erykah Badu. It's her best work. It's the neo soul album. It is the expansion of this genre. There's so many iconic songs on here. You know what I'm saying? The whole album plays incredibly, and it's like a really healing listen. Honestly, it came to me when I needed it, and it's music for the soul that I think everyone really likes.
I've become a fan of Erykah the more I listen to her, the more I get it. Because like she is very adjacent to like the world that I like to live in. I think that she's a goat. She's a goat. They
Big
did
goat.
put Badu.
Baduism?
Yeah,
but Mama's Gun is better. That's what I'm saying. Mama's Gun is the Erykah album.
But it's the same way that you said Dirty Sprite. Yeah, that's why you're funny, bro.
Why?
Because like it's like the Dirty Sprite thing.
No, I don't think so. I think
is.
Mama's Gun.
But it is.
No, but pull up the track list. Pull up both track lists and tell me what the better album is.
We're
Objectively.
I can't do it. I can't. But you're right. I feel you.
Mama's Gun is the better album. Yeah.
I go Ego Death by the Internet as my last pick for what I would want to put on here. This is like
Great
a top
choice.
five personal album. I could not live without this album. I don't think I'd be the person I am, the music listener I am, without this album. I think this birthed like Steve Lacy, you know what I mean? I love that this album has gotten critical acclaim, being Grammy nominated. One of the most unique takes on R&B ever. I think that Syd's voice is so amazing. Like, her writing is really, really amazing. Matt Martian does a great job producing on this. I think it's Chris Page on the drums. Great album. Yeah, modern, like one of the more modern picks I think I have.
You just gonna say everyone but Steve?
I said Steve. I said his burst Steve Lacy.
Oh, my bad. I missed that.
But yeah, great group, great best album from them. But Hive Mind is also great too.
Yeah,
I think the last one that I would put on there, and I'm sure they're gonna put this on there if they haven't already, but Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah,
I feel like that to me is first. That's my favorite Kendrick Lamar project as of right now. But I also feel like storytelling wise and just like he hits a really good. I feel like on Good Kid, Mad City, right? He hits a really good balance between the storytelling of it and also making like commercial records that people can actually listen to. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like because to Pimp a Butterfly gets a little heavy. Damn gets a little bit too radio sometimes, humble. You know what I'm saying? He gets a little bit too like pandering to the radio with that one. But I feel like Good Kid, Mad City strikes a balance of like just telling a story of a kid that like grows up in a rough environment, right? Is trying to make it out and like, you know what I'm saying? He's telling his experience, but he's like, yo, I'm not really a part of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be something more. I'm trying to show the homies something more. And you know, it's sad that we're getting what we're seeing now, but Poetic Justice is one of my favorite songs on that project. You know what I'm saying?
That'll definitely be one of the top 40 albums for sure. If they don't put that in there, they haven't put any Kendrick. He might get. I think he's gonna get 2.
They didn't put any Kendrick.
Not yet.
Yeah, they're gonna put The Pimp and Good Kid top 40.
They have to, otherwise they're wilding.
Yeah,
they would not. But yeah, look at us getting content off of Apple Music. Shout out them for that list. I think that was a really necessary thing at this time. We'll get up out of here with hot takes and we'll leave y'all alone. Okay. I'll start with mine. D'Angelo is the most talented R&B artist of all time.
But just left him off your list.
Yeah.
But just didn't feel the need to slip him in there.
You're a capper.
What am I gonna put? It's either Voodoo or Brown Sugar. I think that they're both top. I think Voodoo's a top 20 album ever, but I don't know about top 5. I wouldn't even be mad at top 10. Yeah, I go Voodoo top 10, Brown Sugar top 20 albums of all time. But we were saying top 5.
I think Maxwell's better.
And that's okay. But you're saying that on camera, and that will live forever. Osei is saying Maxwell is better than D'Angelo.
Oh God!
And
man.
we are all allowed to have opinions.
For the record, I was trolling. I wanted to see Miles' reaction, but
you know,
it was exactly what I needed.
Niggas just be saying shit, bro. That's what.
What's so great about D'Angelo?
I think the fact that he's so patient with his albums. I think the fact that he didn't put out Black Messiah for 15 years after having the biggest moment of his career because he wanted to take the time to learn how to play like Spanish guitar. Like he's also like a genius on all of this in terms of like production.
Yeah.
Not just singing, having one of the most unique voices ever. I think that the way he approaches tracks is more unique than anyone else because like Untitled sounds weird as fuck.
Oh, that's my favorite R&B song ever.
You know what I mean?
That is a perfect song.
That shit is weird as fuck and off the wall and dramatic and big and everything that shouldn't make it a hit record, but that's maybe his most iconic and popular song. Yeah. While also having shit like Lady, Brown Sugar, I love Shit Damn Motherfucker. Like being on the, like, you know what I mean? But having a song like that where he's talking about walking in, seeing his girl cheating with another man and walking you through the entire experience and making it like a listenable song.
Yeah.
Genius.
That take plays. Yeah. I can't yell at you. I've yelled at you enough today.
Exactly.
My turn?
Yeah.
I think that...
I disagree.
You probably will. Both of you probably will. I think West Coast hip hop is about to have a big moment this year. I think Not Like Us really set the stage and made people realize what we've been missing in hip hop for the last 3 years, honestly, since Draco died. You know what I mean? It seems like West Coast music kind of died with Draco, to be honest. And nobody has really been hot from LA or the Bay, in my opinion, and like high quality in the past 3 years. And I think Kendrick making Not Like Us is going to make the average consumer remember how much they like that Bay Area bounce and some of that LA lingo bingo. And I think it's going to, I think it's really going to open the doors for someone to come in and have a big moment from the West Coast.
I mean, it'll probably be a new artist, right? But I think that Kaylin For Real project came in at the perfect time.
I do too.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And I think you saw a little bit of it last year with even that Soak City song. That was big.
Yeah.
People were all doing the dance. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's
and like that, like 310 Baby.
Yeah, 310 Baby.
That's his.
Yeah, that's him.
I think it's gonna be a new artist, or I think it's gonna be someone like Blast that has like a resurgence and does something, collabs with, I don't know, Ralphie the Plug stealing Draco's flow and gets a hit off or something.
So just for the record, Blast is better than Kaylin For Real.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love.
That's really difficult. That's a really difficult.
Yeah. It's hard. I love both of them.
It was just the reaction that you had to me saying Kaylin, and then you went immediately to Blast.
You know, honestly, the new Kaylin album is really good. I think how much we loved that first Kaylin album and I wanted him to move quickly to a place that I saw for him, and that's unfair from me. He's making great steps. I love the way Rock Nation is working him, and I think the new project's really good.
And we have Roddy Ricch too in the cut. You know,
Roddy could do it. Roddy could be the one that bounces back and gets like the West Coast popping again. Honestly,
Kaylin's had a good year. I like the EP he dropped earlier. Ain't Nothing and High Vibrations. I be playing those a lot. I really like both those songs.
Yeah. All right, I'll say.
All right, cool. Moving to the East Coast, man. The DMV's up next, bro.
You've had a variation of this take 3 times.
It's so obvious to me that DC, Maryland, Virginia are up next in terms of the music scene, and let me tell you why. Because the area is and they laugh at me every time, which is crazy.
Because you said this
every
already.
time. The fact that you said every time, and you don't get to reuse hot takes.
And I'm gonna say it every time until y'all understand, bro. Until y'all truly understand.
Disputing it.
Just speak.
I agree with you.
Okay.
It's a good take. Speak it.
Starting over. The DMV is up next in the music scene. It's so obvious, and it's only a matter of time at this point. DC, Maryland, Virginia has the most talent out of any area, tri-state area, really any city in the United States, bro. If we're being real. The diversity in terms of people, population, and like music and history of the music is just, it's already there. The foundation's already layered. You have the street scene, right? You have like street rap already going on. You have more of like a funk and like psychedelic like scene going on as well. You have the more like Soulection leaning type scene. You also have the go-go scene, which I know y'all don't really know that much about, bro, but
this mysterious
somebody's gonna take go-go and somebody's gonna take it to the next level. And we're all just going to sit in awe like, yo, how did this happen?
Who's going to take it to the first level?
Bro, go-go's been the thing. You need
Chuck
to do your
who?
research. You need to do your research, young man.
Say the name? Chuck
Brown?
Chuck Brown.
Chuck Brown, New Impressions.
Go. I hate when you say tri-state area.
It is a tri-state area.
My bad.
What else? Well, I guess DC's not a state technically, but
I don't know. It's just what does that have to do with anything?
You guys, it's okay, bro. You don't respect it, and that's fine. But it's very obvious with this moment from Tommy Richmond and from Shabuzi that it's about to happen. So I'm glad that I'm here during this time and able to give you this take over and over again, because when it happens, y'all cannot say that I didn't tell you so. So that's
someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. You know me and Jack Daniels got a history.
Top 10.
Woo! Boozy. Let's get out of here.
I agree with it.
It's a good take. It's a good take.
You know what I mean? It's not a wrong take. But like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We'll catch y'all next one, man. Peace.